when Johnny Bravo puts out the uncensored Wes Watson beatdown, gang beatdown video at Elevation Fitness, wherever he decides to put it out, it's going to be just freaking gangbusters, blockbusters. Actually, yeah, gangbusters, like quite literally, because we know the names of the people that assisted Wes in beating on that man at Elevation Fitness. And they look just like Wes, spouting the same crap about the same bullshit. And I personally don't think they should get to walk away free. I don't think they should get away with not getting sued. When you pick up a dumbbell, let me tell you something, you could do more damage with a 1 pound dumbbell than everything Wes Watson did over the course of those minutes against that guy on his knees. It's the truth. You hit somebody on the head with a 1 pound dumbbell, forget 40 or 50. What are you going to do with a 40, 50? You can barely move that thing. But a 1 pound, that's like the equivalent of paperweight brass knuckles. I mean, that is like, you could do endless damage with that. And the thing is, let me just go on this little tangent. The thing is, those guys were congregated around Wes, who had his ass seated at a bench he wasn't even lifting. So where I'm going with that is the guy that hit him with the dumbbell, he had to go and get the dumbbell. It wasn't like he was training with the dumbbell, because those guys weren't training. They were like talking to Wes while he was, at the coffee shop sitting on a bench. They didn't have any. So that's a factor, because that just speaks to the guilt, to the intent, to to the culpability of that individual. He went out of his way to pick something up, and then he struck him, and then the other guys kick him. That fat portly guy, he kicked him. Another guy punched him. Another guy helped bring the guy down. Another guy was watching as a lookout. The guys that are out there like on the wings, they might not have been striking, but they were involved because they were looking out. They were kind of like that outer periphery. If somebody tried to get in, they'd have to get through them first before they can get into the gang beating on the guy. They're very much involved. You know what I mean? But the point is, though, what I'm trying to say is when that video comes out, it's going to be everywhere. It is going to be huge. And I may even change the title of this video when that video comes out, because I don't want to divert any audience from there to here. But I'm just saying, the anticipation, and I've told Johnny Bravo this before, I don't do well with waiting. I don't like to wait. And I understand that I have to wait. But I mean, I want to see this. I really want to see this, because at this point, I feel validated in everything that I've said and everything that I've done. There's no regrets here. The only regret being that I wish I would have been more aggressive earlier. But my gut instincts, I didn't trust them. I mean, I trusted them to a point because I argued, but I didn't trust them to the point of making videos. And I say argued, I argued on Instagram. I didn't actually come over here and start making videos because I didn't feel... I thought maybe there was more to it. And there was a lot more to it, but none of it favored Wes or Elevation or Angel or any of them. And I've heard from a lot of people that know Angel, and my interactions with him, he seems like a nice guy, but it's just plain stupid to stick your neck out for someone like Wes Watson, to even let him in your gym to begin with. The liabilities through the roof. But, he did, and not only did he let him in, he stuck up for him, and he tried to, propagate a false narrative. And if it wasn't for the video that came out, thanks to Johnny Bravo, if it wasn't for the police report that was discovered, thanks to Johnny Bravo, Angel might have been able to get away with lying like that, And the thing is that two of the people that I tagged, that I consider to be, people I look up to, friends of mine, I tagged were Mark Lobliner and Chris McKenzie. And Angel, kind of like, what did he do? When he was arguing with me, these guys stuck their neck out and vouched for him. And they said that they knew him, that he was a really good guy in the community, he was a stand-up guy. So as a result, and Angel initially told me that he liked my work, he knew me, and he respected me. So between that flattery there and Mark and Chris vouching for him, I said, okay, you know what, maybe I've got this. And then I really doubted in my instincts, because I was like, yeah, I don't know. All these people know him, and they've got really nice things to say about him. And he says he knows me somehow, probably through my contest coverage work, because I did quite a bit of it in South Florida, and he likes my work. Seems like a nice guy. Why would he lie? And then we didn't know anything about the victim. And as much as we dislike Wes, and I do dislike Wes, not because of just this incident, but over the years, the way that he talks to people, the way that he quote unquote teaches people, I don't like his style. I don't like him, to be quite honest. I don't like him. Let me just put it out there. I don't like him. I don't like what he's about. I don't want that element in bodybuilding. Okay. So in any event, I was struggling with it. So I just went ahead and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead. These guys are vouching for him. He seems nice. I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of, And then sure enough, Johnny starts releasing more and more stuff as he gets it. And he can't just release it as he gets it. He also, like, that's what's going on with this video right now too. I think that if he could legally put it out, he would have done so days ago. He would have put it on Patreon. But the thing is, from a legal standpoint, he wants to make sure not to, step over any lines. From a, I guess, marketing and then journalistic side, he needs to make sure that where he puts it, it's not going to cause his channels or platforms problems. I mean, he's his YouTube partner. He's got the 100,000 award. He's doing really well. He's sponsored by Iron Mag Labs, who also is the title sponsor of Strength Addicts, ironmaglabs.com. So there's a lot of relationships. There's a lot of, rules. There's a lot of protocol that needs to be followed before he or someone in that position just releases content. But as he was releasing the content, I started to really doubt in what Chris and Mark and my guts were saying on that matter, and then looking more at Wes Watson and my initial doubts about the whole thing. But by this point, I have no doubts at all. And I'm happy a police report was taken, but I don't believe the police are really moving it along. And I do still believe a police cover-up is possible. And there is a Miami New Times article about steroid use in the Miami Police Department from 2015, which is 10 years ago. But like I said, there is a connection between law enforcement and anabolic steroids pretty much in every city in the country. And it may not be that. It may be maybe Wes trains a cop or trains a relative of a cop or trains a good friend of a cop. Maybe it's that angle. It's just maybe somebody that worked out at the gym. I don't know. But I just feel like, why is this not on TMZ? Why is this guy not in jail? Why are his co-confederates or his whatever not arrested? Why is this taking so long? So I feel like, there's still a lot of questions with regards to this whole thing. But I feel that once Johnny releases the full unedited video, wherever he may do that makes sense for his brands and makes sense legally, that we will see this covered by TMZs. We will see this possibly covered by network television. I'm serious. We will probably see this covered by newspapers and radio. Could you imagine if Joe Rogan got a hold of this? Could you imagine if someone on that level got a hold of this? You know what I mean? Said, what is this? Or the Breakfast Club in the morning. We saw this crazy video from a gym, this white gang leader, And what do I keep saying white? Well, because Wes says that in California penitentiaries, it's all done by race and you can't fight it even if you wanted to. And he said he was a shot caller in a white gang. So therefore, he's a white gang leader because a shot caller has the keys, right? Because we all saw the movie Shot Caller, right? So we know that lingo. You got the keys to the yard, man. Do you like to read? Yeah. I got some good books in my collection. I'll have Sellout Cup over there. Bring them to you. We're going to single sell you too. So anyways, the point is that I'm going to single sell you for your privacy. But yeah, look, here's the deal. When that video comes out, I think it's going to be so outrageous. It's going to make the rounds. And Johnny's got a relationship with TMZ. He's done stuff for them before, stuff that appeared with their... So, I mean, and that's the thing. That's the thing, because once they get a hold of it, now there's this huge pressure on Miami PD. They're starting to sweat. They're starting to look uncomfortable. They're not wanting that call from the mayor's office. They're not wanting City Hall. They're not wanting City Hall to call and then him have to be in front of City Council and all that. Listen, when the brass, are inconvenienced or the brass are stressed out, shit rolls down. You know what I mean? And whoever that cop is and whatever his relationship may be with Elevation or with Wes or whatever is not going to matter because it's coming from the top. You got to beat your feet. You got to, get into it and let's get this done so the pressure will go away. So I'm telling you, once this video goes out, because right now, like YouTube, he's had to blur it. He's had to change backgrounds, all sorts of stuff. It's still got age restricted, which, listen, for a creator, that relies, whether supplementally or mainly on YouTube income, you age restricted, you get that yellow dollar sign, your audience. I mean, the monetization is practically not there. If anybody thinks that Johnny doesn't do this in part to make a living, you're crazy. He's a journalist. He has to make a living. He has to. And the thing is, as a journalist, great. You may say, look, I put the truth out no matter what. I don't care. We got to get the truth. And that's a very noble thing. But, noble thoughts don't pay the bills. Noble thoughts don't pay the mortgage. So the point is that you got to be strategic about it as well. So he can't have the age restriction. So he went back. He probably deleted it, fixed it more. Fixed it means edited whatever, so YouTube will be happy, re-uploaded it, and then maybe at that point it can earn 100% of what it's supposed to earn. So we'll see. I don't think YouTube's going to be it. I think he keeps saying Twitter. So, and I went to his Twitter page. Unless I went to the wrong page, he doesn't have a lot of followers. He's also not following hardly anyone. If I went to the right page, I may not have gone to the right page. But Twitter is just weird with bodybuilding. It doesn't do very well. Even Phil Heath and Jay Cutler, people like that, they don't really use Twitter. So, but I think he had to. I think if he could have put it on TikTok where you can earn as well, he probably would have. And I'm just speculating, but we don't know if TikTok's going to be around. So that's the other thing too. You want to put it somewhere where it will be secure and people can see it, and it not get taken down, or the platform not be banned by Congress, or any number of things. So nobody uses Periscope anymore, or Tumblr, I don't think, or MySpace. So really there isn't a lot of places he can put it. So, and Twitter, owned by Elon Musk, X, has shown a commitment to free speech. So, and they also have adult content on there as well. So I think that, because this wouldn't be adult content in the sense of porn, but it would be adult content in the sense of violence. I mean, it's way too over the top for YouTube. That I think, but even with Twitter, he may have problems. See, that's the thing. I think he's being very, very proactive, as he always has been. I think he's really doing his due diligence and researching, because what good would it be to put out the video if they take it down in 4 hours? You know what I mean? So, and if it's anything questionable, that probably Wes and his people are going to report it, you know what I mean? Or Wes's supporters are going to report it. So it isn't even just getting it by the censors, so to speak, but it will still be under scrutiny once it's published. It's not, it's published, I got a green dollar sign, we're safe, we're good to go. No, you may actually not be good to go. Maybe 3 or 4 days later, a truckload of Wes's people report the video. If there's nothing wrong with the video, nothing's going to happen to it. But if it's still close enough, you never know. So that's the whole thing. Having a video change status or have, it taken down or whatever, I think he's looking at all these things. So when the video comes out, I think it's going to be a game changer. And as soon as the mainstream media gets a hold of it, the police is they're gonna move. They're gonna move. Right now, I think they're dragging their feet. I know there's a police report. They didn't even see the video. It sounds like they saw a very bad angle. I don't know what kind of video they saw from Elevation Fitness, which is shocking, because I would think their video would be better than the one that the guy took on his phone. But who knows? A lot of times businesses have cameras, but they don't turn them on. Oh, we didn't have them on that day. Oh, really? Oh, the day that person slipped and fell in front of your store and broke a hip, that day it wasn't on, right? But the others it was. So it's just like one of those things. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I'm not doing a good job waiting. I'm 14 minutes into a video talking about not doing a good job waiting. But the point is that, if it were not for the videos that Johnny has put out, if it were not for the police report that Johnny put out, nobody would know about this story. And the gym owner might have gotten away with a few fibs on various social media pages and fibbing right to Johnny Bravo directly, because Johnny and him spoke. And the guy fed him a bunch of bullshit. So again, it's just wild. It almost makes me go back to my cover-up theory. It almost makes you feel like whoever they may be, did not want this to ever come out. You know what I mean? And now that it is out, it's out a lot. It's like the head's out, the torso's out, the knees are out, but I think the feet are still in there. But it's pretty much out. They're still dragging their feet. Not quite as badly as when it first broke, but they're still dragging their feet. Because why has Wes not been arrested? And what about the other 3 or 4 or 5 fellow ex-con gang-banging looking motherfuckers that used to be in prison? What about them? When are they going to get charged? When are they going to get arrested? When is it going to go from a simple victim pressing charges to the state of Florida pressing charges? Because I tell you, this video goes on TMZ and goes viral in a mainstream kind of way, that state attorney's office will be filing charges faster than I can say, I got to turn this off and go to the gym.